Well, good evening, everyone. This is the Diana Wright Show. It begins now, and we're live online. You can give us a call and join the conversation at 561-228-1921. And we're going to have lots of topics to talk about this evening. Carry over from today about the Boy Scouts. If you'd like to jump on that, then we'll accommodate you too. But new tonight, I am just totally amazed at Eric Cantor. Can you imagine? He's now stealing the president's line. He wants everyone to get a fair shot. Is this a kinder, gentler Republican Party? Or do they think we're stupid? So they go and they repackage and they dress themselves in some nice Valentine's paper wrapping with ribbons to go. And then we're supposed to believe that they've changed? No, they have not changed. They want to win elections. And if we are stupid enough to, you notice I said we, if we're stupid enough to let them trick us into thinking they've changed, no. They're just not saying the word rape anymore. They're just not talking about abortion anymore. They're just not insulting women anymore because they had their little retreat and they decided that rape is not a good word and they should get away from the vajayjay. So, I am just reminding you and keeping you in your memory. Do not allow yourself to be fooled. I could not believe the Eric Cantor I was listening to today because he was repeating the president's speech, but just changing a few words. Kinder, gentler Eric Cantor, the guy that opposed Obama on every single thing, he's still trying, of course, to take away all the aid for poor people and protect rich people. But he figures if he comes on and he talks nice and soft and give us a few little snippets, like, he wants everyone to get a fair shot. Can he come up with his own line? I think he should. What about you? So if all of you out there believe that the Republicans are changing, beware. I want to give a real laugh for Governor Christie, though, who everybody seems to love. He says he is the fattest, healthy man in America. Okay? The fattest, healthiest man in America. I thought that was just a laugh. He was on David Letterman last night, and he was talking about, of course, David teases him about his weight all the time. So he came on ready for David. So as David begins to take him on, he decides to take up the donut and eat the donut. He said he's been trying to lose weight, but he just can't lose any weight. Because David is asking him, have you tried? What does your wife say? He says, every day they're on my back. All right. So I just thought that was actually quite funny. Lance Armstrong. Aren't you just tired of Lance Armstrong? And can you believe he's actually not going to go to prison? After he admitted that he doped and he harassed and he coerced and he, just bulldozed other people? So are we now saying to our youngsters who are athletes, okay, you can cheat and you'll get away with it even if you admit that you cheated? I don't know about that. And did Marion Jones go to jail? Is it a black-white thing here or is it not? I'm not quite sure about that. I would like to know, and I would like someone else out there to either agree or disagree with me, because I believe if Marion Jones went to jail, so should Lance Armstrong. He lied. He cheated. And I don't care what else he lost. He lied and cheated. And what an example he is for all the young people in America who want to be like Armstrong. That's why I always tell my daughter, those people you see on TV, they're not your role models. Your role models are right here in this house. Okay? So I just thought that was just an annoyance today. So I hope we hear no more of Lance Armstrong. Seriously, no jail time. That is just ludicrous. Something I thought was very, very funny today, though. A high school psychology teacher in Alabama, got suspended today because he referred to the First Lady, our First Lady Michelle Obama, as the lady with the fat butt Now, and he also thinks that she weighs 185 to 190 pounds. I don't know which scale he's using or what's his imagination, but I thought, what? That's almost 200 pounds. Michelle Obama looks nothing like she weighs 195 pounds. And of course, he's also a gay hater. He hates all gay people. So, Mr. Alabama, Mr. High School guy, you better get your act together. So he was suspended for about 10 days and, he can't teach that class again and all that kind of stuff. Of course, someone in the class taped what he said. Because I keep saying, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're going to do these days, don't forget there's always a little recorder. Remember Romney and the 47%? It was a waiter who just nicely put his phone down and got all the juice. So we could have heard all the juice, even though I didn't think Romney was going to win anyway. Whether we heard about the 47% or not, that just kind of put another nail in his coffin. Okay. Something that's also causing a little stir is the Volkswagen commercial that was done in the Super Bowl on Sunday. And it had a white guy speaking Jamaican. Shall we call it Jamaican or shall we say Jamaican accent? Yeah, and everyone was up in arms, saying it's a racist ad. Personally, I don't believe it was racist. I just believe that Jamaica got some free publicity and everyone is trying to speak Jamaican. So, and that's the reason I said today, if you don't want to call because you figure your accent is not good or whatever, don't forget there are many accents on television today. You can't even count them. And don't forget the Brits are taking over CNN and everywhere else, MSNBC. The Brits are everywhere. So what's wrong with your accent? Just gather your thoughts and give your opinion. And it's fine. Okay. The next shocker today for me was that young woman who stabbed her boyfriend over 20 times and then slit his throat from one end to the next and claimed self-defense. Now, she admitted that she was guilty. But my goodness, what could he have done to her that was so bad that you're gonna stab somebody for so many times? I just thought that was so amazing. What is making us so angry? We have become a nation of angry people. Just, go in front of someone on the highway and you will find out how angry we are. Anyway, we have, there was something that was said today about American children. They were wondering if Americans need to have less children or just have no children or just have one child like China. Because people are saying that you have children and they become a pain in your life, an inconvenience. Some of the things that they said. Have you seen those children who act up in the store and scream and yell and kick their feet? Is that the child you need? And all the teenagers that act as if they know everything and they're arguing with you? Some of them are just sticky little beans, as I heard one man say. They mess up your house. They showed that young man who floured his entire living room. All the couches were filled with flour. One man said, who has that much flour in their house anyway? They also noted that some young people are ungrateful because one young man was shown stomping on a car that his dad gave him, or a van, because it was not a new van. So my question to you is, what is your child doing today, tonight, that is annoying you really bad? Is there something your child is doing that is really an annoyance and you're wondering if you should have them or you should be like the new trend in America where most people are deciding consciously not to have any children? Those are some of my thoughts this evening. What are some of yours? Well, I have two wonderful ladies on the phone, Jean and Judy, and they're going to talk about, I think they're going to talk about a reality TV. because reality TV has taken over our lives. Well, I'm kind of getting to be not so interested in anymore because, there's just too much hate and vengeance and, they're making women look like we're all envious beasts, and we are fighting over guys. And I just don't like what I'm seeing. So I'm kind of on the out. All right. So welcome to the program, Judy and Jean. How are you?
Great. We're great. Doing good. Good, thank you.
Okay, I want to hear your thoughts on, or if you care to take on any of the other topics that I'm discussing right now, but what do you think is the reason for us to be so hooked on this reality TV thing?
Judy, do you want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, I have teenagers, which actually are grown now and in college, but within the past few years prior to leaving for college, one of the things that I've always done to listen and watch what my kids are listening and watching.
Amen.
So that's how I started to watch these reality TV shows. And I encourage parents who sometimes do not want to watch it. We really need to see what our kids are looking at.
Amen to that.
Use it as an opportunity to educate your kids based on the topics that you're seeing. And so for me, obviously, there's none that has any moral values that I watch. However, I use it as an opportunity to discuss STDs with my child, bringing home books and showing him things with, a lot of these shows, they go out, they meet someone, and they're in bed tonight. And I encourage parents, do not be against them in the sense of taboo. You don't want to see it and you don't want your kids to watch it because you know what, they're at your friend's house and they're watching it. I think as parents we should use this as an opportunity to educate our kids on what they're seeing and the detriment to this promiscuous lifestyle that is being aired on TV.
Exactly. I so agree with you because I actually watch certain movies with my daughter just to explain to her. Like I watched one of Tyler Perry's movie that the girl was so abused by a guy who pursued her, but he was actually a rapist. And I made her watch it because I said, this is what can happen. You never know who you're going to date.
Correct.
So I totally agree with you with that. And some of these reality shows, you really have to jump to turn and change the channel for some of the things that they are saying on the TV.
Correct. And on one hand, it's reality, and that's why it's called reality TV. However, some of the realities I think are a little bit harsh. I don't really appreciate women relating to other women as dogs, bitches.
As bitches.
The terminologies that they use. I don't relate to my sisters and my friends in that term.
Yep.
And what the definition of that is a female dog. And I don't really call my friend a dog. I just don't see that. And I don't expect my daughter to call her friends dogs.
I totally agree with you. And so what's the meaning of the word bitches in the dictionary is actually dogs, right?
Yeah, female dog. Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, now that makes it even worse.
And most of the terms are derogatory. Immoral women, malicious, spiteful, or overbearing women. And those are some of the other definitions. Aggressive women. You want a woman to be more assertive, not necessarily aggressive.
Right.
Aggressive is definitely when you're not thinking about somebody else's feelings. The way we approach each other, the relationships that we're talking about on the reality TV, to me, that's not all reality. And that's not the reality that I want for my family and for my friends. And, the portrayal of that is not always very good. Yes, it may be reality, but, that's not the reality that I want to instill in my child or my friend's children.
But don't you think, Jean, that sometimes these reality shows, they go overboard with things just to make the thing exciting? Because especially Housewives of Atlanta, I tend to think that, or really, that's the show that I really see them, Nene's always saying bitches. And, I'm like, okay, why is she saying that all the time? So I noticed the other reality shows like the Miami and the Beverly Hills, no one refers to anyone as bitches.
Correct. No, I don't think so, because I think in not the Miami, the Hollywood, I think it is.
Yeah, Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Yeah, I think that they're one or two of them that relates that way, but not all of them.
Okay.
I just think that it's not really. I think it's reality. I think that's what they do. They come across that way. It seems too easy, the language, and I don't think it's a performance. I don't think it's all performance. And what would a child think? What would a 15-year-old think? Do you think a 15-year-old would think this is a show? I think they're going to think this is real thing.
Okay.
They're going to think this is the real deal.
Yeah, because it's called a reality show. Yeah.
They're not going to differentiate a reality from a performance.
Right.
So if this is a performance, a 15-year-old or 16-year-old may not necessarily think this is a performance. They think this is reality.
Yeah.
This is how you relate, and it is cool to relate that way.
Yes. Yeah, the word cool. Yes, that is the word cool. Yeah, but I would never call my friend a bitch, because if I do, that means she did something bad. Why I'm saying that?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you get to that stage, you're not going to know, you may think it's a very friendly thing. And then there's certain occasions on some of the movies you see controversy about that, because some of the ladies point out, basketball wife, don't call me that. So is this reality? There's some of them that really are very defensive, don't relate to me in this manner.
Right.
And that has caused friction on basketball wives. So that tells me that this is not necessarily a performance. It is actually...
It's actually real, yes. Okay. Well, okay.
I think what is very sad, too, is the exploitation of young kids. Now, I'm not sure if any of you ladies, I have not watched it as yet, but I really want to see it. Just to see what it's about, because it's the buzz with the boo, is it honey something? Honey boo boo? I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness, please don't bother to watch that. I've never watched it, but don't bother.
But no, what I'm hearing is a child involved in this show.
Oh yes, the child is Honey Boo Boo.
Wow. And I'm curious, we seriously have to look at what are we doing with our children as parents. If you're an adult and you've made a choice to go on these shows, but when you start to use kids, and to what I'm hearing with what this child is doing, and the parents are laughing, and it's funny, I think that too is another form of really pushing the bars in what we're finding as entertainment.
Well, what I found really hilarious, though, was when President Obama said he was endorsed by Honey Boo Boo.
Wow.
Because I didn't know who this person was, so I sought it, run through the channels, and I realized it was this fat kid who is called Honey Boo Boo. And she is outrageous. For the little clip that I saw, I was like, oh my God. It was crazy.
Well, I really want to see it, because I hear the conversation, and I think just to see what it's about, because I mentor a lot of young women, and I find it's good when we know what's out there, so we can use it as an example to deter kids from what they're getting attraction from.
Oh, definitely, because T.D. Jakes is like that. T.D. Jakes, I hear him on his sermons in the mornings. He knows, he's like, why are we all wasting our time watching reality TV? So that means he's watching it and knowing what's going on, which I think is something good for pastors to do, so they can, actually relate to the congregation when they're talking.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think
what knowledge to be able to educate those. We're all around young people, and we have to. This is a different generation.
Definitely.
And when we were growing up, a lot of these things that the media has brought to kids, we didn't have that. I had one channel to watch, and I did not have an internet. I did not have a computer. So the world its unfiltered mess. I did not have access to it. Oh, these kids are different. My 3 and 4-year-old niece and nephews are playing on an iPad. You know, they have the world at their disposal with everything unfiltered coming at them.
And speaking of the iPad, there's a iPad 4 coming out, I think, tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. So there it is. It's the media, the world, the public, everything, good or bad, is just accessible for our kids.
Yes.
We as parents must know what's out there. We have to know so that we can educate our kids on what they're seeing and hearing.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask anyone that's listening, when the line gets free, then you can let us know. I don't know what channel it's on because I actually saw it on another station that was talking about the show. And of course, just saying how bad the show was and how could they be using a child in that manner. So that's how I saw the clip. You understand? So I'm not even sure what station it's on.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully someone that's listening knows which channel to find Honey Boo Boo, so Judy can find it and use it as examples with these young women that she's mentoring, because it's a very, very sad scene. These young people are going to be the leaders of our world, and they're being exposed to just, if you ask me, just rubbish. I mean, most of the times, totally rubbish.
Yes.
The reality shows also, when you think about it, Judy and Diana, think about the reality shows. Who are the audience? Who are the audience? The audience are not the elderly.
No.
Audience are, you know, let's face that. And I think also a lot of men, I could be wrong, but a lot of men, I think, are not really for those shows. They think they're rubbish. They think they are really rude and vulgar. And my husband definitely. He does not want to on and on. He does not want it on. He says that's rubbish. You know, how could you watch that type of thing? You know, and sometimes I want to see what is going on because you want to know what is happening out there. But they don't know that. And the elderly especially, they're not going to watch that.
Yeah, well, my husband is like that too. He goes, "Why are you watching that thing again?" You know, and I'm like, I need to watch it so I can see what's going on, because when I go on, I want to be aware of what's happening. You can't just, you know, live in a vacuum and not know what's going on. But it's not something that if you don't see it, you're going to die or something, you know. But I watch it when I have nothing else to do. I will watch it, especially late at night when you can't sleep, you know, because when we women get a little older, sleep becomes a problem. Sleep becomes an issue.
I tell you, a lot of young guys are watching the one from Jersey Shores, I think, with the guys and Snooki.
Is that the one with Snooki? Now she, well, I saw her on the news the other day, Snooki, and she has a whole line of baby wear and all this kind of stuff, and I'm going, what is happening to this world?
Yes, leopard print.
Yes, exactly. I've never watched that show either, so I only see them when they're on the news about something they're doing, and that's the only way I catch them. But Snooki, she is really raking in the dough because of being, I guess, her hairstyle or whatever she has going on. I think it's her hairstyle, but whatever it is, she is making money from it. And of course, all these people that are having babies, you know, they're having the babies out of wedlock and they're acting as if that's the norm and that's the way everything should be. You know, you just wonder, where are the morals of our society going?
Right.
Anyway.
That's right. And of course, they're making millions of dollars.
Oh, yes.
And young people looking at this are idolizing this career path. And when the reality TV shows are actually on the road getting, for recruiting or for tryouts, it's amazing the lines.
Oh, you mean for like American Idol and X Factor and those?
No, for starting up reality shows. They were showing all these reality shows before they come into fruition. They're auditions. That hit.
Oh, my goodness.
And and for 2013, they want to expand on different audiences with different reality TV shows. So there was this whole thing with doing a cross America tour on different, just for tryouts to see who would fit different roles for these shows that they're planning to expound on, because the producers realize this is a multi-million-dollar industry.
And I was here thinking that they were phasing out. I didn't know that at all.
Yes, there was a cross-country audition in place, and I'm not sure which one it is, but they want to expound on the different categories, different levels, different type of shows.
Well, I guess what? I know for a fact that reality shows are much cheaper to produce than, because there's not a whole lot. You just set up the cameras in the people's house and just let it go. Right? And I think that's the reason. And at the same time, it's cheap to produce, but it's also a money maker. Because look at Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians. I mean, they are just raking in the dough for just letting the cameras in their house.
Right.
Yeah. So, I think that's the reason they're going that way, because it's cheaper. And of course, it makes more money. So, hey, what is it called? Capitalism.
I'm actually online. I just Googled reality TV show audition for 2013. It's amazing how many links came up.
Wow.
For different, right? It's a huge multi-million-dollar industry.
Yes, it is. And
producers realize there's no more line between how you're going to make your money. It's the love of money shall be the root of all evil. It doesn't matter if I'm going to exploit kids, if I'm exploiting women. Producers are laughing all the way to the back, and everyone, the actors, everybody. It's all about money when you really peel it back and look at the bottom line.
Exactly.
It's a huge industry.
But isn't it always all about money, though? It's always about money. Yes. I mean, no matter what, it's just simply about money.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about money. Anyway, thank you, ladies, for calling in. We so appreciate your participation in the program and your feisty conversation. And we hope you will call in again and tackle another topic with us right here on the Diana Wright Show, live online, 8 p.m. and, of course, 10:30 in the morning. We're here, too. So thank you so much, Jean and Judy, for calling. And have a great evening.
Have a good night.
Thank you. All righty. Well, you heard all of that. So you see, there is what you call exploitation in the era of capitalism. That's what it is. Everything is about money. Everything is sexual. And as I mentioned that, I just thought of something that really annoyed me in my car today, because I had to keep changing the station. Every time you turn the radio on, whether it's satellite radio or whatever, especially satellite radio, there's always a commercial for men's libido. And I'm trying to figure out, why are they so obsessed with this male libido and low T? It's just absolutely incredible to listen and to hear all these commercials that are just fake. I mean, it's like even my daughter gets disgusted at hearing them. When they're not talking about the length or the size, they're talking about how to take this to make you better. It's just absolutely overkill, overload. I really don't know what word to describe it. But anyway, you're watching live the Diana Wright Show on www.dianawrighttv.webs.com. And of course, our email address for you to email us and have a conversation with us about anything that's on your mind, any topics you want us to cover. It's dianawrighttv@gmail.com, and the number to call, 561-228-1921. Thank you so much to Jean and Judy for raising that very, very important topic about reality TV. Honey Boo Boo, I didn't even remember her, and Snooki and all the other ones. And please, parents, do not allow your children to think of these people as their role models. You should be their role model and not the reality TV people. So, what is your thought on any of the topics that we raised? And I really want to get back to the thing about the Boy Scouts, because I think we are trying to do things to young people that is absolutely not fair. Young people at that age in the Boy Scouts are not, I wouldn't say just innocent, But there are also young men who are, searching for their sexuality, confused about their hormones, getting into, just prior to puberty and all that. Why are we going to just saddle them now with another issue that they need to be worried about and think about? And if it was your son or your child, would you want them to be in the Boy Scouts, whether they're gay or not? And would you keep your child away from the Boy Scouts because they decide to admit gay men, or gay boys, I should say, to the program? Remember, Boy Scouts is something, it's a learning thing. It's something to make young men better and stronger. And, all my friends who have sons, they're in the Boy Scouts. So why are we trying to just build up something else again? Something that is just surrounded with hate. It's just like listening to this teacher in Alabama today. He is there and what has the First Lady done to him? And what does the size of her butt have to do with him? And the quotations were online. You just hear the hate and the anger spewing out as he spoke. And obviously someone in class recorded it so he could not deny it. Be careful what you say. Be careful, because you never know when you're being recorded. Another thing, do not allow, I can't even say allow, because sometimes you say allow and you're not watching your teenager 24/7, so you're not really allowing anything. But just tell your children to make sure they do not send their photos to anyone by text or by email, because you never know what that photo is going to be photoshopped into. Okay? A very dangerous trend that our children are going down, and we need to rein them back in. As Judy says, she mentors young women, and the reality TV thing is just not what you want to be telling your young women to be watching, so that they can think that that is actually reality. Yes, it's reality in that world, but is it really reality that you want for your children? And also, as Jean pointed out, reality TV is just people calling people. She mentioned bitches, but there's so many other derogatory things that are said in them. And there's so much envy and, this one is fighting against that one, and so much gossiping. Is that really how women are anyway? All that gossiping and carry tattletale. I thought that was something you do in primary school or middle school or junior high or something. I don't know. I didn't know grown women behave the way I see these women behave on these reality TV shows. It's just actually totally impossible and incredible to watch and to see. Anyway, reminding you, the number here, 561-228-1921. And also, I'd like you to mark your calendars. April 30th will be National I Love Me Day, because remember this program, we're trying to encourage parents to teach their children to love themselves, and also parents, for you to learn to love yourself, because it's very, very important for our children to love who they are, truly love who they are, and find their own passion and their own path in life as they grow older. Because I wanted to just remind you to celebrate your difference in life by loving who you are. You don't want to be like the person next door, or you don't want to be like your friend. So celebrate the fact that you're different. Celebrate the fact that you don't look the same. Celebrate the fact that you don't have the same things going on in your life. And that's what makes life so interesting, because we're all individuals and we all have our own goals and our own, passions and our own style. Don't try to get I just laugh when I see some women on the street and they're in some styles that you're wondering, did they check the mirror before they left? Why are they wearing that? That doesn't even look right on you. It's not every single style that comes out that you need to get your body in. Yeah? So, Alrighty. And this young woman who stabbed her boyfriend over 20 times and then slit his throat. I am still trying to wrap my head around that one. Because I always wonder why, when a relationship is over, someone finds someone else. Why don't we just go and leave the other person? Why is it that we always seem to be trying to either kill the other person, destroy the other person's life, or make their world a miserable place? Why are we always doing that? So my question to you is, what do you think could have triggered? She claims that she was defending herself, so it was in self-defense that she was doing all of this. But it seems to me like there had to be something else that so enraged her that she just continued to stab and stab and stab and cut until she couldn't do anymore. And she actually thought that, she was going to get away with it because it was self-defense. Well, the trial is going on, so we don't know how it's going to end, but that's a hard one to actually crack. I really believe that one is a difficult one. I want to get back to the Republicans for a bit because I don't want for us, because my mom always say that Americans have short memories, and I would hate to think that we will get to next year, 2014, when the midterm elections come around, and we're going to give the Republicans a break. So we're going to go to the phone again and say good evening. Thanks for calling. You're on the Diana Wright Show live online.
Hi, this is Marlene.
Hi, how are you, Marlene?
Okay.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
All right, and what's on your mind this evening?
I want to your show. You talk about how many times you should give a friend time to hurt you.
Okay, you mean how many times must you give a friend the opportunity to hurt you again?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, go ahead. Let me hear your thoughts because I have very strong thoughts about that. So.
I think it depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
And depends what the person do.
Okay.
Because I think if a person take away your husband, I think that would be one chance.
Okay, so you believe then if a person, because actually the story that I was referring to this morning is actually someone who volunteered to help a mother who was in the hospital with her very sick child. She offered to help, and then she became a Jezebel woman in the woman's house.
No, that wasn't the one I'm talking about. This was a show. That was about sometime last week about.
Okay, I know the one you're talking about. You're talking about the fact that when a friend keep disappointing you,
yes.
How many times do you allow them to disappoint you, and when do you decide that they're just not into you? That's what you're talking about. Okay, all right. Now I remember what you're talking about. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is depends on the person that given the chance.
Okay, what do you mean by that? What do you mean depends on the person?
Okay, because if I have a friend, and that friend hurt me, take away my husband, and I would give that person one chance.
You would?
Yes, one chance.
Wow, I must say, wow, you would give that person one chance?
Yes.
Okay, so what would someone have to do in terms of disappointing you that you would say divorce them then?
I didn't get that.
What would you do, or how many times would the person have to disappoint you before you divorce the person? Divorce the friend, that is.
I would say maybe 2 times.
2 times? Well, you're a hard bargain then if it's 2 times.
Oh yes.
2 times.
Oh my goodness. So after 2 times, you're done.
After 2 times, I'm done.
Well, that means I have to go check my box of friends and see how many of them I need to divorce. Oh my goodness. Wow. 2 times. Wow. That I think that's kind of harsh.
And as I said, Diana, it depends on what they've done anyway. Depends on what they've done.
Okay, so it depends on the seriousness of what they've done to you.
Right.
Okay, all right, I got you now. Okay, so if they always promising you to do things and they never do it, what would you do for that? Would you just talk to them about it, or would you just say, okay, I can't be bothered with this friendship?
I will talk about it.
Okay, so we need to talk about it. All right, but because
communication is the key.
Okay, communication is the key. I got that.
Right. So I will talk about it.
Okay. But what if when you talk to your friends about the thing, because some friends you have, when you talk to them about stuff, they believe that you're criticizing them or you're being mean-spirited or whatever the case is. I just...
But if you have a friend and you cannot talk to them, about certain things, I don't believe that's a friend.
Okay. I got you. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that one, because I think you have to, you have some friends who all they want is accolades. They never want for you to say they did something wrong or anything like that. Okay. And I believe that if you have a circle of friends and all they do is tell you every single day how wonderful you are and nothing is ever wrong with what you do, then I'm kind of questioning that circle of friends. Yeah?
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Because sometimes we make mistakes.
Yes. Yeah, we all do. We make mistakes all the time.
Right.
Every day. Just like we learn something new every day, we make mistakes every day.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, so I'll keep that in mind. So I have to give them 2 chances. And after that, I can ask for a divorce.
As I said before, it depends on what the person do. Depends on what the person do.
Okay, depends on the seriousness of the crime.
Right. Depends on the seriousness of the crime. Right.
Okay.
Because you do some crime you get 2 years, some crime you get 3 years. Depends on the seriousness of the crime.
Yes, and some crimes you get life.
And some crimes you get life. Okay, and if you have this friend that keep on putting up, I don't believe that. That's a friend.
Yeah, I truly believe that, friends must be brave enough too to say to the person, look, I love you, but I'm really not just that into you, to be that close or whatever the case is. So,
right.
Yeah, I think people should be that honest. Yeah.
If I have a friend and something is in my teeth, I believe that friend should tell me, Marty, something is in your teeth.
Exactly. I agree. I agree with that. I agree. But I don't think, I really believe that women are not that brave to do that. I truly believe that women don't have that in them to say, look, I love you, Diana, but I'm just not that into you. So maybe we just can be casual friends. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That is okay. Seriously. That's okay for me. Because I'm an only child, so the friend thing is not a major thing in my life. So I'm accustomed to being by myself, so.
And some people don't know the depth of a friend.
Exactly. And some people, they need to have 10 friends all the time around them, boosting their ego. There are some people like that.
Yes, that's true.
Right. Some people, if there are some people who they totally do not like their own company. They could not stay in this house or in my house by themselves without having no phone calls, just quiet and just peace. They could not have that. They would go crazy. I know quite a few friends that are like that. They have to have a circle of people around them all the time, or someone calling them on the phone, or, something of that nature. They really, really do. And I personally just believe that those people do not like their own company.
That's true.
And one of the things I really think that women need to do, we need to spend time with ourselves, love ourselves, and really truly love our own company. It's very, very important. Because you're not going to be depending on someone all the time for your own happiness.
I agree with that.
Okay, because there's some people who they hang on to a friend, not because they really love that person so much, but they figure that person is going someplace. So if they hold on to their coattail, then when they get to that place, they'll be there too. And not necessarily, that's not necessarily a good thing.
No.
Yeah, you know, and you know, those friends, I just call them leeches.
Yes. Yes.
So there are various kinds of friends. Like today we heard about close friends. We heard about best friend, associates, and, you know, different levels of friendship, which I totally agree with. And I truly believe that that is how we should divide our whole friendship relationship as we go through life. And the older we get too, is the more we realize that some people are just not for you, or they're just not into you. So you just go your way. Go your way. Yes.
I'm in agreement with that. Because I can, you know, some people can try like, you know, go by stages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, you know, young people, I guess some young people, they have to have a lot of friends too. Otherwise they feel like they're not a part of the group, or they're not cool, or they're, you know, they're just not happening. They have to have a lot of friends. But as they get older, I think they realize that friendship is not just a casual thing where you say, you're my friend and I love you. You know, love is an action word. What are you doing to show me that you are my friend? Show me. I'm a show me kind of person.
Right. What I'm thinking that some people doesn't value a friend.
They don't value friendship.
Right.
Right, exactly.
They say, you know, we are friends, but they doesn't value it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Some people just don't value the word friendship, or the person that they're, okay. Yeah, that's a very important point. You don't value the friendship.
Right.
Right. So if you don't value the friendship, that you're not going to work very hard at it then.
Right.
Because like, to me, like marriage, friendship is similar to marriage. You have to work. People believe that you get married and you'll be jumping off the chandeliers and doing all these exciting things all the time. Sometimes you truly don't even love your husband. That's why it's important for you to like your husband and love them at the same time. I believe your friend, you should love that friend and like that friend also, because some days the friend is going to do something that really throws you off and you're not going to love them. But at least if you like them initially and you like them as a person, then the friendship will survive.
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay, so there you go. Wow. My goodness.
Sometimes you have sometimes you have, you know, your best friend, and, you know, when you're married and they, you know, try to steal away your husband, and I think that would be one chance for me.
No.
Because, you know, you have friends that steal away, you know, their friend's husband.
Yes.
Or, you know, that would be one chance for me.
Yes, definitely so. Definitely so. Wow. Well, let's keep that in mind as we encourage people. It's nice to have a friend, but if that friend is going to cause you pain and tears and sorrow, you don't need to have that friend.
You don't need that. Right. You don't need to have that friend. That's true.
Exactly. So, you know, I hope that we are, you know, encouraging someone this evening with that particular thing, because I know some people are just, you know, like my daughter said to me the other day, oh, I want to have a friend, like, you know, a close friend. And I had to just sit her down and explain to her what friendship is all about and why it's not that important for you to have someone that is always in your face. Right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And then she's realizing that I'm correct, because friendship is wonderful, but sometimes you have they're friends who are envious. As that young lady spoke to me yesterday, she said she grew up with the young lady from they were kids. And don't you think that was someone that you would trust
Yeah.
But look at that she said the person became a Jezebel. So she had to literally go online and research who is a Jezebel woman. And she said there is a Jezebel woman, and it's their spirit that's Jezebel plus their person that's Jezebel. And she said there's so much about it online. She could not believe it because she was in such shock, and still is, that someone that she grew up with and knew so intimately as two young women could turn out to be a Jezebel.
One Sabbath I was at church and they were asking this question, who have friends, hold up your hand. I didn't hold up my hand. And they were like say, oh, you don't have a friend? You don't have a friend? You need to have a friend? But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very...
I don't like to be hurt.
Yes, it's a very dicey situation, and you can get your heart broken into pieces. I'm serious, because I've seen some girlfriends not speak anymore, and it is just bitter. I mean, bitter stuff. Sometimes they make up and sometimes they don't, but it can be a very toxic friendship between two women or two young girls or whatever it is. But two females.
One more thing, we have to choose our friend.
You have to choose your friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, definitely you have to choose your friend, but sometimes people are thrust on you and they're not really your friend, but you kind of feel guilty if you don't include them in everything and you don't take care of them. So sometimes you don't choose your friends, that person choose you, and they become such a sticking plaster, let's call it that you can't get rid of the person, because you believe in your heart that if you get rid of that person is going to do something to themselves, right? Because that person is so dependent on you as a friend. You're not necessarily thinking of them as a friend. You're thinking of them as someone that you're helping. And yes, that's kind of an acquaintance, friend/friend. Yeah. But that person becomes so dependent on you that you become trapped in that friendship that's really not a friendship.
Okay.
So you choose your friends, and you should, because you can't choose your family members because they're your family, but you choose your friends. But I have seen some people get chosen by people because of who they are, and then that person becomes such a sticker to you. You can't get rid of the person. So they become a part of your being. And you just can't get rid of them. And they're really not the friend that you want to sit down and, just talk to and be alone with kind of thing. But they're a friend that is kind of forced on you. Say, someone asks you to take care of their child if they die, or you're their godparent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that kind of friend you really don't choose. Those people choose you.
Yeah, okay.
But it's up to you to keep that in balance. But a lot of people don't know how to keep that in balance, and I think that's part of our problem. So.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you, Miss Marlene. Thanks for calling, and thanks for sharing your thoughts. Huh?
Okay, thank you, and keep up the good work.
And thank you so much for being a part of the program tonight.
Okay, my pleasure.
Take care. All right. That was Marlene, and she was bringing up friendship. We brought that up, I think it was last week one day. We talked about how many chances you should give a friend that continues to disappoint you, even though you love that friend deeply and you would want to be with that friend, but I just read that as they're just not that into you. Because if they were into you, they would make time for you, to be with you, to show you love, not just tell you they love you, but show you and give you what friends are supposed to. I don't know if you, I'm not into this phone a friend thing. Because some people believe that, oh, you talk on the phone all the time, so you're my friend. I don't see that as friendship. I just believe that is something you do. You talk on the phone. You know, your friend is someone that you will have in your house and be with you, and you talk, and you can talk about anything, and you know you can trust that person, and they're not going to let your secret out if you have any secrets, because you need to be very careful about the secrets you tell your friends, because I'm telling you, that young lady that I spoke with yesterday, that person took all her words, all her secrets that she told her, and blasted it on the megaphone to some other people that she didn't want to know. You know, so you really have to be careful. It's just life has become so complicated, I think. I truly believe that life has become complicated. The simple days that were gone. But you want to know something? We need to take a breath and think of this as the best life we have right now. This is what we have to deal with. So we just have to look at it, conquer it, and move forward and not dwell on it, because, you know, the good old days this is the good old days. Today is the good old days. So, you know, I just believe that we should not dwell on the past, and forgiveness is a great thing. I am one of those people who malice is never part of my equation. I don't keep malice. I will tell you exactly how I feel, because I am not a hypocrite, and I don't like to go to my bed and keep things in my heart. So I will tell you how I feel. If after I tell you how I feel, then you don't want to have anything to do with me, or you believe that I'm too harsh, or I could have said it a little differently, then that's fine too. Go your merry way. But if you are my friend, I think I should be able to give you what's in my heart. Yeah? So, anyway, wow, we've gone the gamut today. I wonder what's your thoughts on the Alabama psychology high school teacher who got suspended for referring to our First Lady Michelle Obama as fat butt. The fat butt First Lady is what he called her. And he hates gay people also. So he got suspended, and I don't think the suspension is going to change him, because that's who he is. Just like the Republicans, that's who they are. That's their being, and them trying to repackage themselves right now and trying to con Hispanics and brown people and black people and immigrants to vote Republican, I just think is a farce. When I listened to Eric Cantor talking about, his parents and his grandparents or whomever he was referring to were immigrants, I was like, really? You actually have immigrants in your family? Because they act as if they hate immigrants, they hate all brown people, and they hate all black people even worse. So now that they realize they're going to continue to lose elections, they're going to now repackage in a nice bundle with a nice bow and try to get us to vote Republican. Well, I tell you what, I'm not buying it, because I think it's all a fake and it's false. And what's in their heart is what I want them to speak. By the way, did you know today that our great Secretary of State, Hillary Rodham Clinton, has a new website? And that's an indication to everyone. Everyone is saying that this is sure thing that she's going to run for president in 2016. I'm not so sure. I'm hoping she runs, and I'm hoping she has good health that she can run, because that's where we need to really focus first. Is she going to be healthy enough to run in 2016? Is she going to feel on top of her game to run? Definitely. I'll be one of the people cheering her on, because I think she has been the hardest working Secretary of State I've ever seen in this country. She has clocked more miles on that plane than anyone else in the government, I'm sure. So, if that's her intention to run for president, well, we wish her well, and we hope that she will win, because it is time for a female to be president even though they say women are so emotional, so we don't make good leaders. But I think Angela Merkel, the chancellor in Germany, she's doing pretty good, I would think. She's holding all that European Union together. She's really holding it together, and I think she's proven to be a very strong head of state. So, if Hillary is willing to run and go through all the bruising and the bouncing and the stepping on, and whoa, what a primary. Well, if she has no one in the Democratic Party that's challenging her, then she doesn't have a problem. But my goodness, it is hard in that primary. Remember 2008 with her and Barack Obama? How nasty it became. How people were hurt and people cried and people were mad and ticked off, and the women who were voting for Hillary didn't want to vote for President Obama. We have to keep that in mind. So we will be there to support her, because from woman to woman, we should not hate, we should not be envious, we should celebrate if she decides she wants to run for president. So I'm hoping she does, but let's not push the envelope too much, too fast until she tells us. I think they say the reason she's not telling us yet is because she wants to keep the curiosity going, because that will keep your juices flowing and you keep you up in the polls. Oh my goodness, the time is always running fast when you're having a great conversation. So we thank you so much for joining us this evening. And of course, unless we get a quick call, we are going to sign off. And tomorrow is another day, and I'll be here at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow again at 8 p.m. So I know a lot of you are working in the daytime, so you can't call in, but I know you're watching. I know you're seeking on that computer in your office and watching and trying to make sure your boss doesn't come and see what's on the screen. But we don't want to get anyone fired here now. So the shows you miss, you can get them on YouTube. Well, we haven't uploaded the one today yet, but we will do that. And the one last night has not been uploaded yet, but we'll get them all to you. So if you miss a show, you'll catch it on the slide. And of course, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. And I just want to leave you by saying, think of love, hope, and peace. Fear not, only believe. Fear limits your faith. God is good all the time. So if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Don't forget to join me tomorrow morning at 10:30. Don't forget to write the number down, 561-228-1921. And don't forget to give love and you will receive love. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love me, and teach your children to do the same. That's my crusade, because I think it is absolutely crucial for us to do so. So once again, I say au revoir, I say ciao, and I say adios and goodbye. Have a good evening and take care of yourself and be blessed.